Hello, my name is David Creamer, and I'm a member of Vestry, and I work with the Outreach Committee here at Holy Trinity. Today I'm talking to Tim Moore and Becca Van Galder of L'Arche Atlanta. L'Arche is one of this year's Giles Fund Grant recipients, having received $25,000 earlier this year. We're beginning a relationship with them. We're actually restarting a relationship with L'Arche, and I wanted to ask Tim and Becca to tell us a little bit about L'Arche in the world, here in the United States and locally as well. Just a little bit about L'Arche to begin with.
Sure. So L'Arche is a community of people with and without disabilities who share life together. So L'Arche Atlanta is part of a global network of L'Arche communities that exist all around the world, beginning in France, which is why we have our silly, kind of strange sounding name. And L'Arche Atlanta has been around for 12 years now. We are working towards our mission of transforming lives through relationships. So those relationships are among people with and without disabilities. We do that in a couple of ways. We have residential houses, 2 of them here in Decatur, that provide a home for 4 people with disabilities and their live-in supports, a whole network of supports. We also have a community events program that you all will be invited to join in at the end of this video. Those events are social events such as Valentine's dances, open mic nights, holiday parties, but we also have regular programming that happens on Zoom to provide access for people who are unable to come in person. So we have communities that play trivia on Tuesdays on Zoom. We have a sacred space gathering that happens once a month, and other opportunities like that. And the point of all of those programs is to create relationships, to form friendships, because everybody, people with disabilities, people without disabilities, everybody has a gift. We all have innate gifts that the world benefits from us sharing and celebrating those together.
So the Giles Bequest has funded $25,000 to L'Arche Atlanta. Can you tell me how that's going to be used, how that furthers the mission?
Yeah, thanks, David. First, let me say thank you to the Holy Trinity family and to the Giles Fund for this incredible generosity, which makes possible an expansion of our community outreach program. The $25,000 in particular is actually helping to take Becca full-time to be fully devoted to this program. We have been doing community events for a long time, but only in a part-time way. And so this enables us to reach far more people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families. And here I want to just pause and say, loneliness is something that is endemic to the human condition, but it's particularly lethal to the disability community. And so when you look at the data and the research on how health complications compound on top of loneliness, this is a reality that needs solutions. And so there's not programs that exist to create friendships, to address the deficit of relationships for the disability community. And our hope is to take what we know about L'Arche community, bridging the gap of people with and without disabilities, create new programs that foster real relationships. And because Becca can be full-time devoted to it, we've got lots of ways to experiment and to see what works. And we're excited to be partnering with you, Holy Trinity, on this important mission.
I know one of the ways we're going to be partnering is we're going to invite some of the L'Arche community to join us on our Wednesday night suppers, starting, I believe, in November. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so in October, actually, we'll have 2 Wednesday nights where I will come and I'll give a little bit more orientation to what L'Arche is and our history and our unique mission. We'll talk a little bit about disability theology. We'll talk about what to expect about persons with disabilities entering this space. And then we'll have 3 Wednesday nights when members of the L'Arche houses and our extended community of people with disabilities joining us for 3 Wednesday nights. And the opportunity there is to sit next to someone who you may not know and to be open to the possibility of a new spark of relationship. Maybe there's a common interest that you discover that you didn't know that you would have had. And maybe that can carry forward into coming to one of our other community events together. And before you know it, you might have a new friend. That's the ultimate goal of this program, is what we're calling Real Friendship. And we're hoping that by some repeated exposure to this community, that we're at least giving opportunity for those seeds to be planted.
If parishioners want to be more involved in the L'Arche community at large, how would they do that?
So there are a lot of ways to get involved with L'Arche. And you don't have to wait until November. You can start right now if you're curious. The best way to learn about what's happening in our community is by signing up for our newsletter on our website. And that way you know when there are volunteer opportunities or just open invitations to join us. Consider this our invitation to you to join our community and to create these connections and this potential for real friendship. And that can look like just joining in on a Zoom call and getting to know the folks and playing a game of trivia. You could even win some Amazon money. It's a great community and it happens regularly. And then we also have our in-person events. So the newsletter is the best way to find out what's happening in our community.
Well, thank you both, Tim and Becca. I appreciate you making the time to come here today and to share this message with Holy Trinity, and we look forward to an ongoing relationship with L'Arche Atlanta.
Thank you so much.